What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is Season 5, Episode 8, and the episode is titled Dog Eat Dog. Let's get right into the review. So, unfortunately, we start off with Amara. She just got bad news that her dad is very sick, so she's flying to the DR to be with him. Safari comes over, and she explains to him how, she's having a hard time right now. So they give us this flashback of Amara trying to beg her daddy to be in her life. And every time I think about that scene, I just feel really bad for Amara. Because no child should have to beg their parent to be in their life, especially considering he was not involved during the formative years. And now that you're an adult, he still didn't want to be involved. I'm sorry, but at a certain point, you have to move on from these parents who be completely MIA. But according to her, she wants to go down there to go see her dad. Now, of course, we can't get a scene with Amara and Safari without there being some type of issues. And she has an issue with something that this man has tweeted. Y'all, when I think of this situation, it reminds me of DDG. The guy who's dating Halle Bailey. Like, that man, he's always making these random tweets that I feel like he just puts out there just to get, people talking. And Safari does the exact same thing. Safari will say anything to get a reaction out of people. And he knows that that is what is keeping him relevant at this point. But let's jump right into this, y'all. What annoyed me is the fact that Amara is clearly telling this man how she has to go to the DR. Her dad is very sick. You can tell that her emotions are very high. She talks about how even though her dad wasn't, a present dad, she still feels like she turned out to be, a great daughter. And I'm like, yeah, that can be true. However, you still trying to force yourself into this man's life. And girl, if that's what helps you sleep at night, good for you. But in this moment, what threw me off was the fact that Safari stood there and was like, so why do you think your dad wasn't in your life? And I'm just like, you didn't think to reach out and hold her, tell her yeah, you have been amazing. None of that. No reassurance there. That's a problem. Then he decided to make this about him and be like, well, my dad was in and out of my life and I just gotta take it for what it is. And it's like, yeah, I understand you wanted to let her know that sometimes you gotta let that go, this idea of chasing after your parents. But I think there was a time and a place. And at this moment, she needed to be consoled and not you basically trying to tell her she needed to let her daddy go. Because that's the vibe that I was getting, because he was just standing there rubbing his chin, looking all dumbfounded like he always do. And I'm just like, what is this saying? Because next thing you know, she's going on a rampage about how she's turning into her mother. And I'm just like, girl, you could have had better options. You chose to date a man who lived in a whole other country than where you lived. And you knew that man already had his whole life set up there. And he was not trying to move to the U.S. So, girl, you kind of brought some of this on yourself. Because, no offense, I know that we love to be like, oh, well, a lot of the times people are repeating things because that's what their parents did. No. Amara had options. Amara had a lot of opportunities. She chose this life. That was on her. Now, I don't know how we got to an argument between these two, but I'm just like, what's going on here? Because I thought that we were going to get a scene where he was going to console his supposed girlfriend. However, Safari is basically saying how Amara has a tendency to push him away. Y'all, come get these two, please. Because it's bad enough we all have to suffer through this fake relationship. But I feel like if you're going to carry out a fake relationship, at least give us something to actually believe in. Make us really think that y'all together. But no, y'all want to sit here and argue every time y'all have a scene together. We're tired of it. Especially when you have Amara running up to the car talking about I saw your tweets. Who are you talking about? Girl, this is tired. It's tired. It's played. Can we please move on from this whole Amara and Safari thing? But y'all, we gonna slide on over to Trick Daddy. Now, Trick Daddy Dollars is in the kitchen, y'all. He is whipping up, I don't know what, but I low-key be wanting to try Trick Daddy food. I know he looks terrible. I know. However, I do think that there's a possibility that Trick Daddy know how to throw down in the kitchen. I'm just saying. Because when I look at how he was married to Joy, okay, there's no way you gonna tell me Joy was cooking. I know for sure it was Trick Daddy. But also, he's in the kitchen with his friend Carla, right? And she talking about them celebrating their birthdays together. She's like, yeah, because, we turning 50. This Negro talking about who is we? Because according to him, his number is going backwards. Sir, it's not. You are about to be 50 years old. You are never going to be able to convince anybody that you are under that age. Please stop. So here's the thing. Trick and Carla have been friends for years, right? And I'm just like, Trick, maybe this is a type of woman that might be more your speed instead of you trying to date everybody who's under the age of 25. How about you move up in the number? But nonetheless, clearly there's nothing about to happen between these two. However, she has 2 twin daughters that she wants Trick to take under his wings because they want to be rappers. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I find it to be very strange for Trick Daddy to have known these little girls their entire life, and then you want him to, I guess, manage them, or not even manage them, but just help them out with their music. It's just like, what are they talking about? Because if these girls are talking how Cardi B be talking and Sexy Red is talking on tracks, I don't think nobody who watched these little girls grow up want to hear that. I'm just saying. They don't look at them in that way. And they don't want to, and they should not. So, I think it all depends on what your daughters is talking about. Now, she played a little snippet. Y'all, she could have kept it. I'm sorry. Maybe she gonna have to bring the girls on the show, and we gonna have to see them do a little, performance or something. But that little song was not it, girl. Now, here comes Carla with another one, y'all. She decides to tell him, well, they're going to have to live with you in Miami. I'm sorry, but ma'am, what is you doing here? Why do these girls need to come live with your daddy? His own kids don't live with him. I'm pretty sure this man is happy that Joy don't live with him. Why do your girls need to live there? No. That's a little too close for comfort. And I would Trick Daddy when he's like, no. I personally just don't think that there needs to be these young girls living with Trick Daddy. It just don't look right at all. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Von Shay. Y'all, baby girl is preparing to graduate from the University of Miami. We see her at dinner with her parents, as well as her mentor by the name of Giovanni. Now, here's the thing. The way her parents are smiling so hard at this man, it is clear that they wish that she was with him instead of Gunplay. Baby, it is so clear, okay? But next thing you know, Gunplay actually does show up. And he looking like he's the oldest man at the table. Because why does Gunplay look older than her daddy? Gunplay is just toe up, okay? Speaking of toe up, please know that this man is already drunk. He already been drinking before he got there. And then Von Shay decides to say, my mom, she wants to talk to you, Richard, so y'all can go talk. And Von Shay's mom is like, today? I already know why the mama said today like that, with that facial expression, because the mom is not one to try to air things out on national TV. Because Von Shay and Gunplay signed up for this show. The mama is not here for that, especially once we've learned that she's for higher academics, she's all for education. It's clear that her mom has a standard about herself. Von Shay, stop trying to put your mama in these situations where she has to try to have a conversation and possibly argue with your man, Von Shay. Please stop doing that to your mama. Now, we do see the mom and Richard go have a conversation. And, of course, we got to circle back to the 3-page letter. The mom feels like what she said still stands. At the end of the day, you ain't shit, your mama ain't shit, and your daddy ain't shit. That's how she feel. It's very clear when it comes to Richard and his family. because she feels like her daughter should have made better choices. And once the mom brought up the fact that they never even got a chance to know Richard, it just reminded me of the fact that people really be out here dating any old body and they family never know who they dating. That's low-key kind of crazy. Because in this situation, the only reason why I even feel like Vanshay brought Gunplay around was because she got pregnant. Other than that, she would have never brought Gunplay around. You can't tell me that she would have brought that man home to her parents. This was her rebelling out. However, I don't think that he would have made it all the way to meet the mama and daddy, considering who he is. Oh, wow. So here goes Gunplay, you guys. He is going off about how she said something about his mama. Oh, he can say something about his mama, but can't nobody else say nothing about his mama. Boy, listen. If your mama was a druggie or a drunk or a crazy person, whatever the lady said, it still may stand if that was true fact. But also, here's the thing. How did the mom even notice about your mama? Yeah, Vanshay probably been talking to her mama. Okay, so go take that up with Vanshay as to why her mama is judging your people. Go take that up with your girl. And then on top of that, you're talking about how you read the letter and the mom said, well, that letter was actually about my daughter. Now, I'm questioning who this letter was actually addressed to. Was the letter addressed to Vanshay and she was saying, like, as my daughter, you can do better than this man? And Vanshay let him read the letter? Or was this addressed to Gunplay? Because I'm just a little bit confused on who this letter was actually meant for and who was supposed to read it and who wasn't. But nonetheless, Gunplay is sitting over here calling this lady crazy, like, oh, you said that about my mom, no, you the real crazy one. He ends up storming off. Now, keep in mind, prior to him storming off, she's still trying to address point 1, and he done jumped to point 10. So the mama is over it. However, Gunplay is still on 10, and he's basically talking about how he's good, and he mentions how he don't mess with her mama like that, and talking about so he gonna go sit in the car. Well, go sit in the car. Because I'm tired of you acting out because this woman said some truths in a 3-page letter. It is very clear that this is hitting you hard because there's some truth in what that letter said. At the end of the day, Gunplay, you are a lousy partner to Vanshay. You don't even help with the child. You have a terrible background. You're still a drug addict. You have a drinking problem. Clearly, you're abusive. We have a list of things that we can say about you, Gunplay. And clearly you have a straight, direct line from chaos from your own parents. It's not her fault that she raised her daughter in a specific way that she shouldn't even cross paths with a person like Gunplay. Now, y'all, at this point, Vanshay daddy, he gets up, okay? Because Richard done stormed his little ass out the door. Now, listen, this man is clearly very educated. He keeps a cool, calm, collected vibe. However, he's the type that don't push his buttons. Do not push Vanshay dad buttons because you're going to see another side of him. I feel like this man was once living in the hood and he made something of himself, but please don't bring him back to his hood ways, okay? Because the way he told his daughter, I know a nigga when I see one, I said, oh yeah, daddy about that action. Vanshay, stop doing this with your parents. Please stop. Because clearly they are not the one or the two. Because the way the daddy was taking that mic off, it looked like he was about to go put hands on Gunplay. Tell me I'm lying. It definitely looked like that, and I wouldn't have even been mad. Vanshay, you keep bringing yourself into this situation by putting your parents in a messed up predicament. You already know how your parents are, okay? They are trying their best to tolerate the fact that their daughter chose a horrible partner to have a child with. And you keep putting them in a situation where they have to argue with this man who is drunk, high, or whatever else he got going on. Please stop doing that just so that you can get a scene on this show. All right, y'all, let's move on over to Safari and Ray J. First of all, I just need Ray J to keep that shirt on because he has a certified dad bod. And, there's nothing wrong with a dad bod. But I just feel like Ray J, you can put the shirt back on. Nonetheless, they talk about how Ray J and Princess, they made it over the hill. And then we have to move on to what's going on with Safari and Amara. Now, here goes Safari talking about how he had to give tough love to Amara because, that's how he was raised, even though he should have been consoling her knowing the news about her dad. I promise y'all, Safari shows us every time why women should not date him. However, for some reason, they keep flocking to this man. Now, let's just slide on over to Ray J and his opinions because this man has decided Bobby Lights won't be the only person that's stirring the pot and keeping things messy around here. I gotta dig in as well. So now his whole role on this show, y'all, is to be messy. Ray J talks about how Princess supposedly showed him Amara's social media and she posted photos at dinner. She probably with her baby daddy, Alan. She was crying to Princess about how, Alan left her, blah, blah, blah. Ray J, you just added an entire scenario to a situation that probably is not true at all. However, you surely did make it believable. Because this fool Safari is believing every word that you're saying right now. Now, do I think that Amara is out there cheating? Possibly. But do I think that it's really cheating if she's not actually with Safari? No. So yeah, she may be dating somebody else in the DR. May not even be her baby daddy. Also, two things can be true. She could have went to go see her dad and also went to dinner. Y'all stop spying on that girl. And I don't even like Amara. But why do I need to defend her right now? You know what? Let's just move on. Alright, y'all. So now we gotta get on to Trick Daddy Dollars. He is cooking on I think he has a YouTube show or something. And the twins are coming down to be in Miami. So y'all, we get a first look at these twins. My question is, how old are they to be now pursuing a rap career? Because they are giving every bit of 35 plus. I'm sorry, but these girls do not look young at all. Also, the fact that they're wearing the exact same outfits, I give it a side eye. I understand that people, who are twins, they like to dress alike when they're younger. But at a certain point, you got to let that go. For example, this is kind of off track, but I would really like to see the Combs twins wear different outfits. They can be similar, but they don't always have to be the same. But that right there is a whole other situation because them girls are still young. These two are way too old to be wearing the same damn outfit, same hairstyle, same lip gloss. Get you some individuality about yourself. But then, y'all, what got me was the fact that they are from, Jacksonville, Florida, but they out here talking about they the Hollywood twins. What's Hollywood about that? Somebody please let me know. Now, isn't there a Hollywood, Florida? Now, if you were from there, I would understand. But you talking about some Hollywood and you're not from Hollywood. Do better. So we actually see them, they come out on Trick Daddy's show and he's just asking them about them doing music. And according to them, they are ready to take over the music scene in Miami. They said that they are coming for all the little rap girls from Miami, including Trina. I said, I wonder how Trina's going to feel about that. So out of nowhere, Trick Daddy, he calls up CO. And I said, wait a minute. Not only do I randomly remember CO's verse from Take It to the House, please don't get me started because I will rap it. It's time to get down with your boy CEO. It's me, Money Mike, and the Big Freak Show. Let me stop. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Isn't this the same guy who used to work for Trina and then she ended up firing him because he was a terrible manager? I wonder if he's doing such a bad job over there with Trick Daddy. But nonetheless, he questions why are they coming for Trina's spot instead of somebody, closer to their level, like a City Girls. And they're just like, no, because Trina, she's elite, blase blah. And I'm just like, girl, Trina is also irrelevant to the music industry. No offense. You can't compete with the City Girls because they're still current and relevant. Come on now, be for real. Now, according to Trick Daddy, he is going to work with the girls. However, he's in charge. He's in charge of the girls. Because when it comes to the studio time, he don't play. And he's going to get these girls in line. Now, let's just go ahead and slide on over to Shay, y'all. She is going to get her mother as well as her baby daddy together so that way they can smooth things over, if it's possible. And we know that it's not. But let's jump right into this scene. Y'all, not Shay telling us that Fabo is mad because she got that dog with another man. And that is why this dog cannot go into their home. Ma'am, if you don't see that as an issue, I don't know what's wrong with you, Shay. Because to me, that reads as if you had a baby by another man, he would absolutely disregard that child. That's what it sounds like to me. And any man like that cannot be trusted at all. But let's get into the conversation between Fabo and Shay's mother. Now, she automatically calls this man out for disrespecting her, and I absolutely believe that that was the right thing to do. Yes, let's go ahead and go straight to the problem. Sir, you were disrespectful unnecessarily. But of course, he does not feel like he was being disrespectful. He feels like he was being defensive. I said, well, sir, two things can be true at the same time. So the mom is explaining, listen, I've already watched this dog for a year. It is now my child, Shay. It's her responsibility to take her dog back. And that's what I was trying to explain to you. Now, according to him, everything blew up when Shay's brother got involved. But I'm just like, that's not even the mom's issue right now. Her issue sounds like it is still on the same conversation that she had with you the last time. Y'all still need to come get this dog, okay? That is still the main concern here. Now, at some point, she was saying his name. I guess she was saying Fabian instead of Fabian. And he corrected her. I get it. Correct somebody if they're saying your name incorrectly. However, the way he's doing it, the attitude that he's giving the mom, I'm over it. Fabian acts like a child. So because we're over here talking in circles, the mom decides, you know what, let's switch gears. So why is it that I can't come through the house? Ever since you came around, things have changed. And I can't lie, the first thing that I thought of was, girl, the reason why that changed is because your daughter is clearly love-struck here, okay? Shay is the type of person who will put her man above all, even though he's giving her less than 10%, okay? Now, according to Fabo, he ain't got nothing to do with that, and also he is not trying to have a better relationship with her mom, because according to him, his spirit don't sit right with her. And I'm just like, sir, you got your audacity, okay? I just cannot believe that this man sat up here and told this woman that they are on the same page because he don't want to get to know her and they are at the back of the book. Sir, could you please stop it? You and these little riddles and games that you are playing, ain't nobody playing with you. This woman is trying to have a serious conversation and you are being so childish. How are you planning on marrying this woman? Oh, wait. It's because you're not planning on marrying Shay. That's right. Fabo is not about to marry Shay. He never had any interest in possibly marrying Shay. And I just hate the fact that her mama is sitting up here wasting her time having a conversation with this man. So we end this conversation with her mom saying, we just won't see each other anymore. And you better not marry my daughter. This man gets up, raises his voice. I'm not exactly sure what he said, but they bleeped it out and told this lady to not play with him. And I'm like, sir, what is up with these anger issues that you have? Is it because you cannot control her mother the way you control Shay? What's going on here? Now, Shay comes out of whatever side room that she was in. And here's my thing. Earlier on this scene, she said something along the lines of she's going to have to choose, between her man and her mom, and somebody's going to be hurt. I feel like she would choose Fabo. I really do. Because she is clearly one of those girls who is all over their man, even though their man is trash. Because after this man has stormed away, Shay came to that table with her mother and said, okay, but what if I married him? Ma'am, what do you mean, what if you married him? Ain't no what if. This man just hollered at your mama for the second time. You don't see a problem in that? Like the mom said, that would be the worst decision that you made. And of course, we see her ride off with Fabo. And I'm just like, yeah, it's very clear that you would absolutely choose Fabo over your mother. I get it. You've had a very rocky past with your mom. However, I think that your mama is actually standing on the side of right, and you are clearly on the side of wrong. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on. Unfortunately, we have to circle back to Vanshay and Gunplay. So now she's feeling some type of way because Gunplay got into it with her parents. And I'm just like, well, girl, you brought that on yourself. You're the one who had them have a conversation on screen. That was on you. And then you had them have the conversation in front of your mentor. Again, that was on you. I don't feel bad for you in this moment. Then you're upset because this man has relapsed. I feel like Gunplay has been relapsed and you've just been hiding it because you are so adamant in going against what your parents have told you. So she confronts Gunplay about what he said to her mama, right, the night before, and about him being drunk. Now, one thing that confused me, y'all, was the fact that Vanshay tried to play in our face because she gonna ask Gunplay, oh, what did you say to my mom that made my dad want to choke you out? Girl, you was standing right there. Stop acting like you didn't hear that man said he don't F with your mama. Or whatever he said, something along those lines. Oh, so now Vanshay is concerned that her mentor might not write her a recommendation letter because of Gunplay's actions. Well, girl, you should have thought about that before you suggested that Gunplay have a conversation with your mama. Like, what else did you think that they were going to talk about? How the sky is blue? I don't understand how you thought that your man, who is an extreme hothead, was going to go over there and have a reasonable conversation with your mother. Because he has been pissed off about this letter every time you bring up your mother. So why did you think this time was going to be different? Are you dumb or are you dumb? Because you're not making any sense. I don't care if you have a PhD, girl. You are clearly only smart on paper. That's all you got going for yourself right about now. And the fact that now you want to be concerned about your future is blowing my mind. You should have been worried about your future when you and Gunplay crossed paths, however that was that happened, because you shouldn't have gave him your number, social media, whatever it is, however y'all exchange contact. You should have kept it pushing because you have a future. And we could clearly see where his is going, straight to the gutter. And then she tells Gunplay that, if her parents don't show up to her graduation, they're going to have even bigger issues. And I'm just like, well, girl, you brought that on yourself. Because what you should have done was have these people play nice until after your graduation. And then they could have had that conversation. But you weren't smart enough to do that. Y'all, let's go ahead and move on. So we see Trick Daddy. He's in the studio. And here comes the Hollywood twins. They get in the booth. And, I'm going to need for them to swallow those words. Y'all not coming for nobody's spot, okay? Not in Miami. Hell, not anywhere. Because let me tell you something. The way them twins was bouncing them shoulders, you would have thought they had a hit on their hands. But baby, it was not. Not at all. Trick Daddy, find something else to do because helping these girls ain't worth it. Let's go ahead and move on. So, next we have Shay's mama talking to her son, MJ. Y'all, MJ is gonna work my nerves every time I see him in those damn hats of his. But nonetheless, they basically talk about how Fabo was acting towards the mom when they just met up in this past, episode. Now, here's what got me. The mom shows MJ this text that Shay sent her. So basically, Shay was saying that she needed space from her mother. AKA, this man is separating you from your family. You don't see a problem in that, Shay? Girl, you so busy trying to be my man, my man, my man, and this man ain't worth it at all. And the fact that Shay is willing to let go of this relationship that she just rebuilt with her mom for Fabo, I'm sorry, but I'm giving Shay a side eye. Because I get it, you didn't always see eye to eye with your mom. However, Fabo has been disrespecting you for 10 years now. I think you can absolutely let him go and just co-parent for Shajaya's sake. Even though I don't even know how much of a parent this man really is. So Shay's mother has a whole breakdown when it comes to this situation because she felt like, her and her daughter worked very hard on their relationship and now it's being taken away because of a piss poor man. All right, y'all, let's get to this last scene. And it is Amara and Safari. Just our luck, right? So Amara still has an attitude with Safari, of course. And according to her, I forgot to mention that her dad just had a health scare. He gonna be alright. But back to this attitude, because Safari is trying to have a conversation with her, and it's clear he can see that she has an attitude, and he says, "Oh, I see you still got an attitude." And her response was, "I hate that you're coming at me like that." And I'm just like, well, girl, I think he's trying to match your energy because you are giving him some real, nonchalant answers. And how else do you think this man is going to respond considering his personality? So Amara starts up the argument about how he wasn't supportive in that moment for her, and he was not. I said that at the top of this video. That man was not supportive how he should have been. However, girl, you talking about how he drove off. Yeah, he drove off because you brought up something else. Honestly, when I think of the grand scheme of this whole conversation that they're having, if you were so concerned and worried about your dad and all of this going on, you would have just let that be in that moment. And you could have dealt with Safari when you got back from the DR. Because honestly, you going there to support your dad, to me, was a little bit more important than what you had going on with Safari and his tweets. But nonetheless, Safari decides to tell her how he feels, and that included him saying that he felt like she was thirst trapping for her baby daddy with whatever she posted on social media. And this trip to the DR basically had nothing to do with her dad. Oh, why he say that, y'all? Because these two start arguing. And when I tell you I was drained, I was drained. Because at the end of the day, this is a whole fake relationship, number one. Number two, is Safari still hung up on Erica? Absolutely. Do I think that Amara wishes she could get back with her baby daddy? Absolutely. But these are two people who are on the show that don't have a storyline, so they decided, let's get together and make one. This girl is literally going in about how every man in her life has failed her, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, and you thought you were going to get something different out of Safari? Safari? Girl, get out of my face with this. So Amara is going off about how Safari is this, Safari is that. He's sitting there giving her the damn silent treatment. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I mean, honestly, I feel like Safari sat there and was quiet because what did he look like arguing with her? Let's be honest. Whenever we see men argue with women on TV shows, we always give a man a side eye. And in this moment, I would have gave him a side eye. However, she goes on to talk about how, she has lost money with bookings and all of this stuff. And he had to stop her there because he felt like she was lying. And now, y'all, I'm going to have to be on Safari's side on this. Don't judge me. But he didn't lie when he said that him being with her, that has brought her a lot of attention. Yeah, when people found out that Safari was with Amara La Negra, all the blogs were eating it up. Nobody has been talking about Amara La Negra since season 1 of this show. Because remember, she came on the show and she got into it with the other Latina girls or whatever because she was Afro-Latina and they did not understand that. So I can't lie. The man has a point there because nobody else is checking for Amara La Negra. Well, baby, I guess a hit dog was hollering because she decided to throw a drink on him. He gets up. He gets walked out by security. She's still throwing stuff. This man then calls her a bird and then starts making bird sounds. I'm like, you know what? This is too much. All I know is for next season, I really don't need Safari or Amara La Negra. Like, if we see Safari, it needs to be in the capacity of, oh, he's friends with one of the guys and he ain't gonna be on there full time. Amara can go as well. Honestly, you guys, I want a shakeup for Miami. I really do. I really want a shakeup for Miami because I feel like there's a lot of people on this show that don't need to be here. For example, Amara, Safari, Trina, Joy, who else could go off of this show? Hell, Florence and her drop. You know what? We just need a whole new cast. Because Ray J and Princess can go. I think we just need a whole shake-up. Matter of fact, y'all can keep Sukihana. Y'all can keep the Zoe Brinks girl. Maybe even Bobby Lights. But, like, I need, like, a younger generation. Remember that one season that they had that girl? It was, like, Chameleon and Hood Brat and, like, a couple of other girls who were, like, younger and up and coming. They need to go find them girls and see what they doing. Because I need a younger group on Miami. These old heads, I'm tired. I'm drained. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.